Good evening and welcome to a sunny and crowded Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. It is week number 6 in a row of giving updates from here, and I have some big updates on Iron Rattler and Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster. I also have updates on Goliath. I'm riding it for the first time since the repaint today, and I'm checking out construction updates on the DC universe, including what's left in the parking lot. Let's explore. Starting things off over here in the parking lot where the contractors have a lot of their work staged. Looks like, if I had to guess, all of these metal structures, these support columns, they are probably for the Metropolis Transit Authority station and maintenance area. I see some wood in the back there, and the crane has been moved outside of the area. Some of the monorail cars look to be more assembled than they were last week, and overall it looks like stuff has moved around, but there's not too much that has left this area. I think the crane is the biggest piece. I still see a lot of the same material under the tarps there from last week, and again, I'm not 100% sure what those are, but I assume it's for the Transit Authority ride. Some of you commented that it's not actually a monorail, and you are correct. It is not. It has fiberglass trains that resemble monorails, but you can see that it rides on twin rails. It is not a monorail. Over here, the same cars from last week. It looks like they have not moved. In the back there, some of the shipping materials that some of this probably was attached to. It looks similar to this white metal structure with some bolts holding everything in place for shipment purposes. And then further along the back here, we have a lot of corrugated steel, which could be used as the roof on part of the station structure, I assume. There's actually a piece here outside of the fence. Not sure what that is going to be used for, but the fiberglass pieces from last week look to be in the same spot over here as well. I'm gonna give Goliath a try. First time riding it after the repaint, and I did see one of you asked if I could get a POV of it, but unfortunately Six Flags does not let hardly anyone film on the rides unless it's a special ERT time before the park opens. I saw Coaster Studios here 1 year ago, and they were getting to film on Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, but they had media passes. It was a private event for them. So maybe one day I can. Goliath is running excellent. I can confirm repaint looks good and it feels good. Now, before I get into those updates I mentioned, there is a major update on Roadrunner Express. You can see the train is parked on the lift there, and it will not be moving anytime soon. That is because a shaft, I don't know if it was a drive shaft or an axle shaft, snapped somewhere on the ride, and it will be down for quite some time, probably a couple weeks, and that's according to reliable sources inside this park. The next bit of news is that Iron Rattler did reopen last week after I filmed my video on Saturday. It was open on Sunday, but I don't know if people were allowed on it. But I can tell you today, it is open and people are riding it. And there is quite a backstory to it. I heard that a lift drive motor actually needed to be repaired on the ride, so that's why it was closed. And it went out, it got maintenance done to it. When it was reinstalled last weekend, the ride reopened on Sunday and the lift drive motor caught fire. So they closed the ride again, and when they fired it up the next time after more repairs were made, it was only smoking but more operable, and I think they've tweaked it since then, and now it is open and the line is all the way down to the bottom. Well, I normally don't get chopsticks when I'm here. It's been 5 years, I think, since I've gotten it, but decided to give it a shot today. I ordered beef and broccoli, and after waiting 20 minutes, they said that they did not have any. So instead, I have spicy chicken. Kind of a miscommunication from the kitchen, I guess. Over here in the DC Universe area, there was some updates from this week. Cyborg has a little bit of theming that's been added. And for the Metropolis Transit Authority, we can see walls have begun to raise from the ground for the station load and unload area. And then for Poison Ivy, according to the park president on Instagram, it was testing this week. So that ride is pretty much done. And for the Shazam Tower, they're still building this structure behind it with 2 doors right there. And the other thing to note is that Batgirl Coaster Chase is open. I'm gonna go get a closer look at that. Wow, what a line. All the way out of the entry queue for Batgirl Coaster Chase. It's a fan favorite, especially with kids. Another ride that had an update this week from an inside source was Joker, and it had a slight problem. Up there at the very top, there was somewhat of a brake failure on one of the brakes, and all that happened was it took a little bit longer for the ride to reach its home position after the ride cycle. But as far as I know, it was fixed, and now it's operating like normal again. Another week, another very long wait time for Wonder Woman. It is all the way out of the Coliseum area. A lot of people are turning around and coming up the entrance. Well, I really want to ride Poltergeist right now, but the line is all the way to the corner over here, and I just don't think I'll wait that long. Well, I gave in, and I'm gonna give it a shot. This looks like it could be more than 30 minutes. The only other ride where I could get a view of behind the scenes area back here, where potentially Kid Flash Yellow is Scream, but that has a line too. On second thought, I do have one skip the line pass per visit, so I'm gonna go redeem that for Poltergeist and skip the wait. All right, so that took about 10 minutes to get the Flash Pass for Poltergeist, but it is completely different than 5 years ago, because I think that's the last time I used the Flash Pass benefit. They used to print you a little piece of paper and you had to show it in line. Now it's all digital, so you have to log in to the Flash Pass website, enter your season pass number and last name, and then you get your skip the line options, and you can select any ride that has it available, and it will tell you online when the window is open for you to return to skip the line. So for Poltergeist, I have to wait 30 minutes, and then a 2-hour window opens for me to use it between 6:30 and 8:30 p.m. So in the meantime, since I have 2.5 hours to play with, I guess I'll go try to ride Iron Rattler. Well, after a 40-minute wait, I finally got on Iron Rattler for the first time this year, and it was excellent. People were even clapping at the end of the ride. I got a front row ride, which is kind of rare for me because I always prefer the back, especially at night. But man, the front, really no slouch either. If you can get on the front or the back, I highly recommend it. The middle is a bit more tame, but wow, welcome back, Iron Rattler. On the way to the arrival. These are the monsters. This is the first time I've seen this. Well, an hour and 20 minutes after deciding I wasn't going to wait in this line, I am back with my Flash Pass, but it says the ride is closed. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to redeem it now. There they are, yellow trains. The very last update to give today is on Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster. I know it is dark out. You can't see a lot of this, but there was nothing, as far as I know, done this week to this ride. However, behind the scenes, the investigation is ongoing and work is being done on the trains to rebuild them stronger than their original design. And once that is complete, it is going to be up to Six Flags' discretion whether they want to reopen the ride or not. And from what I'm hearing, it sounds like they're not going to be interested in running this ride anymore. I believe that goes for Six Flags Over Georgia as well. But Six Flags will have a decision to make whether they want to scrap this ride or sell it to another park. And from what I'm hearing, they are definitely interested in selling it to another park. So hopefully this opens again, but I also hope that it does not have the issues that it has had for the last year. I did confirm while riding Poltergeist that the yellow train for Kid Flash is behind the scenes up against a fence and mostly under tarps. And I'll post a picture of it right here. You can see that under the tarp there is yellow sticking out, and that is the yellow side of Kid Flash. Well, that's gonna do it from today's updates from Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Some good news and some bad news mixed in, but overall, the park is packed. It was even more crowded yesterday when I drove by, which is hard to believe because some of the lines here are 30 minutes to an hour for pretty much every major ride. Flash Pass was coming in super handy. And I can tell y'all that the upload schedule will continue for now with every Monday around 5:30 or 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. There'll be an update vlog like this one on this channel. And coming very soon, within the next week, is going to be the first coaster ranking I've posted in a long time. It's gonna be Outlaw Run from Silver Dollar City. And after that, there will be 6 or 7 more theme parks full of coaster rankings to come. But first up will be the major coasters that I have not already made videos for from Silver Dollar City. But thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe as we're getting closer to monetization, where I will begin traveling to other parks once that happens. But that was another day in the Hennisphere. There are still people piling in here just after 7:30. Wow. There's one thing I forgot to mention, and that is the park hours are going to change this week because of the holiday. Tomorrow is Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, however you see it, and the park will be open tomorrow. But on Thursday of this week, it will also be open, and that is the only time this month in October for Fright Fest that it will be open on a Thursday. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the park will be open as well.